Hello and welcome to this look at Gnaw, the new Awesomenauts character that was released today. Gnaw is a dog-like creature that has its own new set of unique skills. Many of his abilities seem to be focused on a damage over time effect. Let's take a look at these skills. There's Acid Spit, Grow Wheedling and Bite. Now, Bite is Gnaw's basic attack. It deals damage over time at a point-blank melee range. Acid Spit spits out 2 globs of acid out in front of Gnaw, onto the floor or wherever you're aiming it. If an enemy happens to come in contact with this acid, it will deal damage over time. The third skill enables Gnaw to grow a Wheedling, which will live until killed and attack enemies as long as it lives. Now let's have a quick look at all the upgrades that are available for all of Gnaw's abilities.
Let's go!
So the top row are all the upgrades for the Acid Spit ability, beginning with Aggressive Acid. Goo will burn through glass platforms and drip down. I guess this is most useful in situations where levels have many of these glass platforms to take advantage of it. Tentacle Soup adds a slowing effect to spit. I think this could be very useful in situations where you want to make a choke point really dangerous for enemies. For example, say in front of a turret. Overcharged Metabolism reduces the cooldown between spits. If you're using spit a lot, get this, I'd say. Featherball, Spit Further, always useful, again, another upgrade. Just a very general, good upgrade for this skill. Spike Slime, a 2-tiered upgrade, deal more damage with Spitted Goo. Always good again, I'd say. Quite expensive though, $2.90. Split Spit, Spit Goo will split into 2 new spits. Try saying that 3 times fast in a row when run over by friendlies and enemies. Again, $2.70, bit expensive I think, but you also have to take into account that this basically gives you free spit all over the place, all over the shop, so it's a pretty good upgrade I think. As you can see, I've got these 3 selected at the moment. I'm still figuring out which build works best for me. As I said, Gnaw only came out today, so I'm just still figuring out what's best for me as well. So now on to the upgrades for the Grow Wheedling ability. The first one's Corrosive Spores, a 2-tiered upgrade, increases the damage that the Wheedlings do. The second one is that they will regenerate health. Now, this is interesting because the Wheedlings do not disappear by themselves. They live as long as no one attacks them. They will live forever, basically, until the end of the match. So, regenerating health might not be as silly as it seems in the beginning, at least as it did to me. 2-tiered upgrade, again. Fertilizer, Wheedlings that live after 15 seconds grow stronger. Again, this ties in with the whole thing that the Wheedlings grow forever. They get more health if they live for 15 seconds or longer. Overgrowth, Wheedlings require less parts to build. It requires 2 fewer parts. And normally you build up the parts by biting enemies. Now, this does not just apply to enemy players, but also to bots and droids as well. So normally you'd have to bite, say, 5 times, maybe fewer. I'm not exactly sure, but this makes it so that you don't have to bite quite as often to be able to grow a Wheedling. Flex Neck, let Wheedlings shoot 2 seeds per salvo, 1 extra bullet. Bag of Seeds, hold more Wheedlings. Now, I've tested this out. Standard, the maximum amount of Wheedlings, so that's the resource you use to grow a Wheedling, is 1. With this upgrade, it's 3. Now onto the upgrades for Bite. Bite is the standard attack. Rotten Teeth, 2-tiered upgrade, increases the damage over time of Bite. Bite has, as you can see here, a normal damage part and a damage over time part. So the first bite does 6 damage, plus 10 afterwards over time. Chattering Teeth, a 3-bit part, upgrade increases the attack speed of Bite. Filed Teeth adds a life-stealing effect to Bite, useful if you're going for the brawling type. Dental Braces deals the damage over time faster over a shorter amount of time on Bite. So the 10 damage over time is done over 2.5 seconds instead of the standard 5 seconds. So you might get kills off faster and you might get more kills to your name. Rabbit Teeth get a speed bonus for biting enemy players, so you get a small speed up for half a second after you bite an enemy player. So player is specifically named here, so I imagine this does not work for droids and bots, but not 100% sure. The final row is just the standard upgrades that you can get for any character. Again, I've gone for the standard things I go for with Leon normally as well. With that said, let's go into a game and see what all these things do. Now, because Gnaw is just out, I found it really difficult to get into a real online battle game with other players and be able to actually select Gnaw. So this is a practice game, but I think this is a really good example of using Bite. You can see that damage over time is indicated by an orange bit on the bar of the enemy's health. And here you can see that the orange bit is slowly ticking down. Now eventually this bot is killed by another bot from our team, but I like to think that my damage over time component had something to do with it. Now here I'm taking the Grow Weedling skill for the first time. Let's see what that does. So to be able to grow a Weedling, I first have to get a few bites off. Watch the counter go from 0 to 1. Now I can grow a Weedling, and here I put the Weedling down, right in front of the turret. A good defensive position. This Weedling will stay alive until it is killed by other players. Actually, in this game you'll see it will stay alive for a very, very long time, making it very useful and also making me consider the upgrades for regenerating health, more health, and just increased damage and more shots from the Weedling. Just because they live so long, or at least against bots they live long, but that doesn't mean that in a real game against real players they do not have the potential to be very, very useful and live very long. Also, think about the position there. It will prevent enemy droids from reaching our turret for a very, very long time. Now imagine you have 3 or 4 of those Weedlings there. It will prevent the droids from reaching our turret even longer. So here I decided to try it out. What happens if I just place as many Weedlings as I can in front of our turret? Now what seems to happen is if you are near, at least in the same screen, you will get the credit for the kill and the solar for it as well. Now something else which is even more interesting happened when I started placing these Weedlings on top in the droid farming zone. Now, as you'll notice as I jump up here, I've placed a Weedling in the droid farming zone, and it will just attack automatically on sight of any enemy that comes near. As you'll see in a moment, when I get a bit of damage from this turret and I try to find out who to attack next, as I try to fight off Clunk again, there it is, I get 30 health. The 30 health was farmed by my Weedling that was all the way off screen on top in the farming area, and I got the health for it anyway. Now this seems to have a lot of potential. For example, here I've taken the upgrade to be able to hold more seedlings. So now I can spawn 3 Weedlings here at once, as you see me doing. This will give me many unexpected 30 health upgrades during the game. For example, right here I'm making a very stupid move, blocking myself in between a turret and enemy players and getting free health while doing it. Now, this health of course comes from the Weedlings that I planted in the droid farming area. There they are, and there you can see them doing their work. So apparently this works across the entire battle map. You don't even have to be in the same screen for it. And I'll try to follow up with an example of using the acid spit. So here Clunk is following me, and I acid spit him and just see how high the duration is of the orange bar on his health bar. That's the damage over time effect of acid spit. Now, if you hit an enemy directly with acid spit, they will get 1, the normal damage aspect plus directly the damage over time aspect starts. Now, if you spit the acid on the floor, that all those effects will start once an enemy walks over it. So that's it for now for Gnaw. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I'd like to thank you for doing so. I need some practice playing him, so I'm going to try and find a game where he's still available. I hope you enjoy playing him as well. I'm going to lead you out with the Killing Spree music, which is always awesome. Thanks for watching.
Killing spree.